All right. Okay, so thank you all for being here. We have a couple more poems left, and if anyone needs to purchase a book now, feel free. But this next gentleman always seems to be in the room, featuring whenever I'm doing something, so it's a pleasure once again. Back in the day, I first stepped up to the stage to do my first spoken word at a poetry slam, a Black History Month poetry slam. Dwayne Morgan was the feature. A few years after that, I won my first Grand Slam champion Vancouver Poetry Slam. Dwayne Morgan was the feature. A couple years after that, we have our spoken word series, The Art of Word. 2-year anniversary show, which turned out to be our last show. Dwayne Morgan was the feature. And now tonight, the Great Black North Contemporary African Canadian Poetry Toronto official launch. Please welcome Dwayne Morgan.
Thank you. So I don't know if that makes me good luck or bad luck. Either way, I'm blessed to be here. So I'm going to share the piece that I have in the book, and then Kevon asked me to share another piece as well. So the piece that I have in here is a piece called The Academy Awards. I was being me, not on set, not acting, just doing what I do. Maybe my headphones were too big. Maybe the way my head bobbed to my music was offensive. Maybe my pants were too baggy. Maybe my skin was just too dark. Or maybe they make the sidewalk smaller on this side of Vancouver. Either way, it apparently wasn't big enough for the both of us. As I approached, she stepped aside, clenched her purse, and stood frozen in place. As soon as I walked past, she was back on her path, and I felt as though I was in a movie or a dream. Part of me wanted to turn around and start walking behind her, but that would only give relevance to her insignificance. Part of me wanted to stop too, right in front of her. This would be the crux of the plot, where the tension builds a pivotal climax as we waited to see who would make the next move. Part of me wanted to call her on her actions, but I feared that she might soil herself if I came at her with pens blazing. It's amazing that this attitude is still alive. Instead of exercising any of those options, I simply walk by playing my role, because as Black people, we constantly act as though we don't care, as though we aren't hurt, as though we aren't angry. We are always acting to save face. I can never be more than the sum of my experiences, and while she can never make or break me, there is still a permanent scar on my spirit, because I can have a university degree and still be seen as just a nigger. I run my own business, but I'm still just seen as a nigger. My passport looks like a sticker book, and I'm still just seen as a nigger, so I keep acting, because it's the only way to maintain my sanity in a society that judges my worth against white people's fantasies, their opinions of who they want and expect me to be. But sorry, I won't be your sexual terrorist, mandingo black cock that terrifies and intrigues you. I will not be your less than, your other, your different. You are not the standard by which my worth is measured. I won't give you the pleasure of being the gang-banging hood intimidating you as you walk by. Not today. I only hang out on writer's blocks. Today I will be the defiant jack in the box that won't let you box him in. I will put on an act worthy of acclaim and smashing box office records. Yes, I have issues and a color complex, because not a day goes by when I'm not reminded of the skin that I'm in. And you don't know the psychological and spiritual trauma of constantly having to justify your existence, your location, and your presence. Yes, I am a Canadian. Yes, my parents were immigrants, but who gives you the power to think that it's okay to ask? So we act better than those in Los Angeles diners waiting on their big break. But your looks of fear and surveillance cameras are the only paparazzi that we know, because if we don't create value for you or validate you in some way, we really don't matter. And we've got this acting thing down to a science. We acted like we cared before we burnt down the cane fields. We acted like we loved you before we poisoned your food. We acted like you mattered when we took care of your homes and your children. Now we teach acting lessons to nannies from the Philippines who clean up after you as means to an end. We act as though we believe you when you speak of us being equals. Maybe true reparations was Michael Jackson owning the Beatles. We act as though we're exotic when someone who looks like you finds us worthy of love. We act as though we can carry the world when we're really just fed up. And when the Academy Awards come around and the Oscar for Best Actor in a leading role is given out, I won't be shocked when I hear my name and start my acceptance speech with thousands of Black people at my back, because all the world's a stage and no one has learned how to act better than we have. As it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to do something love-oriented, but while people do know that I do a lot of love and erotica stuff, I will not go in that direction of love. Today, I will keep this more in a self-love preservation kind of mode, I guess. She said, go in. Take a sledgehammer to the walls that you've built around your truth. See yourself in every piece of the rubble that lies at your feet. Identify your ground zero and start there. Take a scalpel to every lie that you've ever told yourself. Excavate your experiences, scrub your pain with bleach, stand securely in your vulnerability, and go in, knowing that you will be judged whether you do or you do not, so you might as well speak. Stand nose to nose with your demons, vowing never to bow in defeat, spill your soul. Become a human sacrifice on this stage. Honor every experience that has made you the way that you are. Show off your scars like tattoos. This was for the first time that I was ever called a nigger. For the time I was told that those like me only come into these stores to steal. For every time I was looked in the eyes and denied service. For the time she asked me the size of my dick before asking my name. For the day I became an oxymoron. Black father going in with a sense of urgency, because a black man's hourglass doesn't come equipped with the same amount of sand as everyone else's. So the time is now for spiritual spring cleaning, so I can finally begin healing, letting go of the naysayers who told me that I would never achieve my dreams. Asked me when I planned on getting a real job, yet here I am 2 decades later, still standing tall with these chips on my shoulders like souvenirs going in, because only I know how many days I hated myself, felt depressed, wondered if life would be better on the other side of death. I played hearts like a deck of cards, met diamonds and clubs, and now I'm calling a spade because I don't know how to love. I struggle to accept praise, bathe in joy, and I need to learn how to love. I've blamed myself for everything in my life that has ever gone wrong. My mind is a tornado, my emotions a thunderstorm of creativity, and the forecast is calling for redemption. So here I am, going in, offering myself as a sacrifice on this stage through these words that escape from my mouth, because anytime a poet goes in, only their truth can come out.